Alright guys, I'm here at the GS Experience and I am test riding the brand new 1300GS Trophy X, I think it is. Let's see if I can start this thing. Oh wow, it's got the Akrapovic pipe and we're going to be ready to rock, but immediately sitting on it, it is soft as the suspension. Oh my god. So they've left it in rain mode to begin with, so I'll leave it in there for now. But guys, just for some context, I've never ridden a GS before. This is the first GS I'm riding, and it's not going to be a technical review. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on what it feels like. I have owned a V-Strom 1000, which is a competitor to it, a T7, which is not really a competitor, but just to give you an idea of some of the bikes that I've owned. And now I primarily ride dual sports, but I've got high hopes for this thing. It's super comfortable. Oh wow, the throttle is so weird. It's obviously ride by wire. Oh, it is smooth. I think the Germans are onto something. It's supposed to be quite docile in rain, so got quite a bit of a vibration, which is interesting. Well, finding neutral's a bit difficult. I'm not even going to try. Why is it? I don't know. I'm just going to leave it in first. Oh wow, I just used the quick shifter and it's a bit clunky, but obviously I was low revs and I found every quick shifter I've ever used at low revs is quite clunky. But wow, this feels like I'm on a couch. I'm guessing that's a shift light, but I'm going to try and not look down too much because obviously for safety, but that must be a shift light. Alright, first thoughts. Definitely the most comfortable bike I've ever been on in my life, by far. This seat is phenomenal. The seating position, phenomenal. I could probably ride this for 24 hours straight. Honestly, it is super comfortable. Now, I am getting hit with a little bit of wind. On my V-Strom, I didn't feel the wind at all. I think the Trophy X doesn't have the windshield that adjusts. Now, remember, I don't know anything technical about these bikes. If you want a review like that, there's other channels that do it. I'm just here jumping on the bike with barely any knowledge of it, and just giving my opinion. So far, super comfy. Power's there, but again, we're in rain mode. We'll leave it in there for a little bit, just as I get used to it. How beautiful we're out in the Yarra Valley wine country here in Victoria, and riding a BMW GS. I always thought I'd ride one, and honestly I reckon I'll own one after this experience. So yeah, what a beautiful looking bike. The paint job, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Alright, let's have a go at the down quick shifter. Let's see how that works. Oh, smooth, that was smooth. Yeah, that initial one is clunky. Obviously first to second, but wow, unless maybe you have to be really high in the revs, but that one there is very clunky. As part of the experience, they gave us a demo on all of the controls and everything, but I'm not going to really muck around with it. I'm just here to test really what the bike feels like, handles like, power, and all of that. Again, the tech stuff, it's exciting, but I don't think it's, yeah, that for me, being primarily off-road focused, like all that stuff, it's not like those creature comforts. Like apparently it's got heated seats, heated grips, adaptive cruise control, all of this. And if I owned the bike, I'd be exploring those for sure, but for this test ride, I just want to see how it feels. All right, let's feel how the suspension in rain mode. Don't ever notice it. So far, the suspension has absorbed everything like it's nothing. Like you don't feel the grooves, bumps, nothing. incredible. Alright, let's put it in, let's change it to road. There we go, road mode. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's got some get up and go. She's definitely got some get up and go. Oh, that torque is awesome. Man, why do you need a sport bike? Honestly, this GS is a sports bike. Man, people probably see you riding in this thinking you're some on some dad bike, but my god, this would eat up most cars. The torque is insane. I think this bike might be the highest torque bike I've ridden, like in terms of that low down. Like it comes on super early. Wow, through the turns, it just feels so planted. Alright, let's see the standing position. Alright, not bad. I don't think I'd need bar risers, no. No. Bar risers aren't necessary for me. I'm 5'10", and yeah, perfect positioning for me. And I mentioned not having the adjustable windscreen. I haven't gone, you know, freeway speeds yet, but it's not like crazy amount of wind. It's just kind of touching the helmet, but it's still a very comfortable cockpit. This bike is still super fun in the twisties. Like, you're not leaning it over like a sports bike, but it handles beautifully. Like, my only comparison for a bike of this type is the V-Strom 1000, and this just absolutely annihilates it. Like, it just feels way more sporty, and the handling's better. Just everything about it is better. Not to say that the V-Strom's a bad bike. It might the V-Strom might be 80% of the bike that the GS is, but my god, it costs a lot less. So yeah, my commentary about how good the GS is in relation to the V-Strom doesn't make the V-Strom a bad bike by no means. It's just yeah, the BMW does seem to do everything better thus far. I've been on the bike for maybe 15 minutes now, and it's already in top contention for the bike I would pick if I had to ride around Australia. Say I took 6 months off and wanted to do a lap around Australia, I would be, so far it'd be very difficult to convince me that the GS isn't the best bike for it. Now obviously I haven't ridden all of the other offerings, but yeah, this thing is nice. Let's test the braking. I haven't tried it yet, like hard on them. Oh yeah, oh, it must be that tally lever suspension, but there's barely any front end dive. And I just kind of whispered on the brakes, and yeah, they're strong. I'm guessing it's got combined braking, so I'm not going to bother touching the rear, but yeah, that felt really good. So I've been riding in road mode. That obviously compared to the enduro mode, I think it makes the suspension different, the throttle different, even the ABS and braking, that's all different. But we'll try the enduro in the off-road portion, because we are taking these bikes off-road, and you know, it's a GS, it does belong off-road. Yes, it's big and burly, but this thing feels like for gravel roads it's going to be absolutely amazing. But so far on the road, it's exceeded my expectations. Really, really great bike thus far. I've just put it back in rain mode because the road's a bit greasy here and slick in sections, but even in rain mode she still goes hard. It's just, you notice the throttle response is toned down, everything's just a lot more docile, which is, it's a nice option to have. But you put it in road, let's do that again now. Mode, road, and then you got to release the throttle, pull in the clutch, it locks it in, and then yeah, whoa, absolute mean. Oh, this thing on a German autobahn, no wonder they make them so refined. I can imagine you know, cruising at 220 on this and still being comfortable. All right, so at 100 k's per hour, there is a bit of wind buffeting, but again, it's not bad. It's just, it's hitting my helmet in a certain spot that I can feel it, but compared to my V-Strom, which had a larger windscreen, you felt nothing. But like I said, there is the other models that have the adjustable and it comes up super high. But yeah, I think we're getting off-road now. All right guys, off-road. I've got it in rain mode to begin with. Oh yeah, the traction control straight away. Straight away, does not allow you to do anything. So let's switch it to Enduro. Now there is an Enduro Pro mode. They said not to turn it on for this. The main thing that does is allow you to lock up the rear. But oh yeah, this Enduro allows you to open it, but it's still got some traction control. Like you can see it cut in. Hopefully no one's behind me. You ready? I'm gonna just blast the throttle full wide open. So yeah, there's still a lot of traction control, but it lets you have fun. Like, this is the perfect gravel bike. Oi, yeah, the back likes to step out, but it keeps you in check. Oh wow, you can really have some fun on the gravel with this thing. It's dangerously fun. Oh, it's gonna make it look like such a good rider because of the traction control. Oh, how is this a dad bike? Yeah, dads know where it's at. This is awesome. We don't want to bin it. Big excess. Oh, it's so fun though. I think the guy behind me probably thinks I'm an idiot, so I'm just going to tone it down and act professional. I'm a reviewer. I'm test riding the bike. Act professional. All right. So we're in enduro mode. This forest is beautiful, and I reckon this is the element that it belongs in. This is peak GS riding. Is gravel roads in the forests and nothing too challenging. Like, yeah, you could take this thing through some technical stuff. Honestly, it doesn't feel crazy heavy, but do you really want to? Like, it's so heavy that in terms of if you drop it, you got to pick it up. Though I do like the fact that the engine, the way it sits, means that when you do drop it, it's a lot easier to pick up because it's not completely flat on its side. So that's pretty cool. All right, quick shifter's nice on these roads as well. See how it handles potholes. Oh yeah, oh man, you could just go over them and not be destroyed. Hooks up real well. Brakes still work good off-road. It does. The enduro mode, you still got front ABS, so let's really get on it. Oh, that is amazing. Imagine there was a kanga that was jumping out or something. You could get on it and be confident you're not going to bin it. This is just an all-round package, isn't it? I mean, you pay for it. Like, I think the base model's 27 grand or something, and then this Trophy X is like 30 something, 34, 35 maybe even a bit more. But my god, like, if you got money to blow, I don't think you can beat this as like an all-round adventure bike. Because usually these gravel roads, you know, they're not the most fun on the dual sports. Like, yeah, you can have, like, you can rip and stuff, but you don't have 130 horsepowers underneath you. 130 horsepower underneath you, and the traction control just gives you enough room to have fun, but keeps you in check as well. I'm guessing in Enduro Pro the traction control is probably a little bit more relaxed. Actually, no, they said you can turn it off completely, so that's an option there. However, the ABS, the front ABS you cannot disable, but it is in like an off-road mode, and in Enduro Pro the rear ABS is turned off. So I've got to say, these tires are great. The Karoo 4s, like, gives me so much confidence on this stuff. Suspension super comfortable, handles all the potholes and just everything that it goes over. It soaks it up, but still gives you like that compliance where you can feel what it's doing underneath you. I think I've touched on everything: the brakes, the suspension, the power. What more do you want from a review? I'm just trying to think. Like, yeah, we've kind of touched on what electronics it has. Haven't really delved into it, all the crazy other stuff, the cruise control and all that, but in terms of what applies directly to the riding experience, I think we've touched on everything. I'm trying to think. Comfort, yeah, and it's honestly scored top marks on everything so far. Oh, the fun factor as well. Like, at the end of the day, why do we ride? It's for fun. And you know, if your bike's not giving you a grin when you jump on it, then you know, you're not going to want to ride it. So this is a bike that definitely leaves a big bloody grin on your face, because it is fun. And I'm not even going crazy. Like, I'm on a test ride, I'm not overtaking and stuff, but I'm still having fun. So I'm really finding it hard to find anything negative about the bike. But you know, the two things that I can say so far is that it's got a rough idle. So I don't know what that's about. It's a very rough idle, actually, and it was a bit tricky to find neutral. But yeah, they're little things. I guess the other negatives is potentially everything else that comes with owning a BMW, and all of these electronics is, you know, having to visit the dealer when there's issues, things that you can't even fix yourself. But you know, if you don't get a lemon, then that's not a concern. So yeah. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you check out the review on the BMW F900 Enduro. I tested that one on the same day, and I think you guys will find it interesting. But I'll catch you guys in the next video.